What's up YouTube, it's Sup TCG here, and thanks again for watching our TCG video on my channel. In this video I'm gonna talk about donking and what it is in general. So donking is just knocking out your opponent on your first turn of the game, and that way they cannot do anything, they cannot even draw a card. So in this particular example we just use Horn Attack of Tauros, but we cannot attack on our first turn, so this is a second turn donk. This is the thing that is quite frequent, where you just get a huge basic, Lugia or Tauros, and just knock out a weak basic. So from now on we evolve to a whole different level of donking, because the Decidueye GX is in the format and we have the Latios EX. Latios EX has an attack that deals 40 damage for a single psychic energy, and with that we can just use it on our first turn, it states. So we just attach a rainbow because we don't want to play psychic energies, for example, and we deal 40 damage. But how do we add it up to 60 to donk our opponent? So with that he won't be able to draw a card and we just win on the spot right there. Well, we just use Forest of Giant Plants, get it to a Decidueye, snipe 20 damage on that Cosmog, thanks to the Feather Arrow ability, bang, and then use the attack for 40 damage, and poof, the Cosmog is gone. You'd be surprised how many basic Pokemon there are in the format right now, and even if you have to add it up to 70 damage with a Fighting Fury Belt just to get rid of, yeah, maybe a Trubbish, that is also possible thanks to that tool card. You can also even use Professor Kukui in this situation instead of the Fighting Fury Belt, but then again you need consistency and use Sycamore to get the combination going like this. So Latios EX is the donking card in the format, and why do people have to be afraid of donking? Donking means that your opponent does not have a backup Pokemon on his bench, and if you knock out the active you win by default. So yeah, let me just show you how powerful donking can be. So with the combination right there we deal a minimum of 70 damage. So there's Trubbish, Cosmog in the format, both really playable. Then we have Froakie, Zorua, you'll see a lot of cards. We have Rattata, an Eevee and the evolution deck with Umbreon. We have Klefki and the Vespiquen deck. We have Dratini, which is being seen a lot of play with Darkrai. We have the Jirachi promo, a Bunnelby, which is seeing a lot of play in mill decks. We have the new Rockruff, because Lycanroc GX will be played. So a Gnome, Pikachu, a lot of weak basics are in the format that are really good, and we can just win by default if our opponent just happens to start with it. Rowlet, Oddish, and Combi together with the Fomantis. I don't have space for it, but yeah, these Pokemon, even Litten gets one-shotted thanks to that crazy donking capability of the Latios in combination with Professor Kukui, or maybe a Decidueye, even Remoraid. So we just deal that damage. The great thing about it is if you flip the coin, and you can start with your match, you can see if your opponent has a weak basic like that. If they start with a lone basic, how many games start with a lone Rowlet? Just think about that for a second. Rowlet, instead of that we just see a lone Combi, a lone Oddish. Everything is going like, even a lone Froakie is so common, or a lone Trubbish, that we can just make advantage of the format, splash in a Latios EX in our maybe the Decidueye deck, and have that capability to win on the first turn. I know that this is kind of yeah, a method that is not being used a lot, but just wanted to give this information video that you definitely know that Latios EX is in the format together with Decidueye, which means donking is in the format. And if you are not convinced yet that donking is powerful, look at all these weak basics that just get the damage and get one-shotted. With this, we automatically win the game. So if you have that option, why not abuse it in a situation where you lost the first round, you are starting second. Definitely you want to go second. On your second turn you want to start first, and that you have an automatic win if they start with a lone Pokemon. So this is just also something and expanded. There's Muscle Band and the Hypnotoxic Laser, which adds damage. The Muscle Band deals 20 extra damage if you have it attached, and the Hypnotoxic Laser poisons your opponent, which means 10 damage between turns, added up to 1 damage counter. So that is only for expanded though, so I'm mainly focusing on the standard format, as you might have noticed. Otherwise I would have added more basic Pokemon like Fampi or something. So Professor Kukui is definitely also something to consider if you want to go for a donking deck, maybe some puzzles of times and situations like that. So another thing I'm gonna show you here, just let's say you have a great start, you used a couple of Shaman EXs on your first turn together with a powerful Sycamore, and you happen to get out 3 Decidueyes. How does that actually work? Well, you're gonna see this right now. So The thing you will need is a forest of giant plants, of course, otherwise this method won't work. But if you use Sycamore in the beginning of the game and discard a lot of resources, we can get them back with Revitalizer. So getting those Decidueyes out is not that hard. You run 4 copies in the deck, so if you happen, if you're crazy lucky and you happen to get 3 Decidueye GXs in your first turn, you are extremely lucky. But I've seen it before, so that means we can snipe with the Feather Arrow for 60 damage. As you see, 2 damage counters from each Feather Arrow. We deal 50 damage with that Latios together with the Fighting Fury Belt and the Professor Kukui. Just add all that damage together. Let's just do that. Just get all the dice right there. That's 60 for the Decidueyes, 50 for the Fighting Fury Belt with the attack is 110, and then 20 with the Professor Kukui adds up to 130 damage on the first turn, which means you can get rid of Volcanion and other shenanigans like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this information video, and if you want to see more, definitely show your support by destroying the like button. And yeah, that's it for another video. I hope you guys had a ton of fun. If you did, leave some cool suggestions in the comment section. And what do you think about Donking? That is the question of today, guys. This was Zapdos TCG, and I'm signing out. Have an awesome day. Peace out.